It was a quiet morning in a small neighborhood where the world seemed to move slower than usual. The sun hadn't yet climbed high, and the birds outside were just beginning their chatter. Inside a modest house, Mr. Sharma, 72 years old, slowly opened his eyes. He stared at the ceiling fan spinning lazily above him. His first thought wasn't about breakfast or tea, it was about his legs. The pain. The same dull, dragging pain that had become part of his mornings for years. He sat up, wincing slightly. His knees creaked like old hinges, and his ankles felt like they'd been locked all night. His slippers waited patiently at the edge of the bed. He slipped his feet in and sighed. As always, he made his slow journey to the bathroom, left hand sliding along the wall, right hand gripping the corner table for balance. Each step was small, careful, afraid. When he returned, he looked at the bed again. "I'll just rest for 5 more minutes," he whispered to himself. But those 5 minutes always turned into an hour. And that 1 hour had turned into years of habit. Mr. Sharma wasn't lazy. He was a retired school teacher, disciplined and thoughtful. But ever since his wife passed away 5 years ago, he had grown quieter. His world had shrunk to the 4 corners of his house. Every morning, the pain in his legs felt a little heavier. Every evening, the walk to the gate felt a little shorter. His daughter, Neha, often called him from Delhi. "Papa, you need to move a bit in the morning. Just a short walk after waking up. Please try." He always promised, "Tomorrow beta, Paka." But tomorrow never really came. One day, something different happened. He was watering his small garden in the evening when his next-door neighbor, Mrs. Fernandez, walked by. She was 68, cheerful, always smiling. "Mr. Sharma, you're always sitting, she teased. "Come join me for my morning walk tomorrow." He laughed. "Walk? My knees don't agree with your enthusiasm." She chuckled. "Then tell your knees I said it's time they wake up." He smiled, but that night, her words stayed with him. That same night, he dreamt of his younger days, the morning assemblies at school, walking through fields, standing tall in front of his students. He woke up before sunrise, heart oddly restless. He looked at the clock, 5:45 a.m. His first thought again was the same old pain. But then, Mrs. Fernandez's words echoed in his mind. "Tell your knees I said it's time they wake up." He sat up slowly. This time, instead of lying back, he stayed there. He remembered something his daughter once sent him, a short video about simple morning movements. He sat at the edge of the bed and tried rolling his ankles. Slowly, gently, 1 round clockwise, then counterclockwise. It hurt at first. But then he felt a small warmth in his calves, like blood starting to wake up too. He smiled. "Okay, let's see what's next." He held the edge of the bed and stood up. The world didn't spin. His knees didn't scream. He took a deep breath and lifted one knee, just an inch off the ground. Then the other. Slowly, as if his body was remembering an old forgotten rhythm. For the first time in years, Mr. Sharma didn't go back to bed after the bathroom. By the 7th morning, his routine had changed completely. He would sit up, roll his ankles, stand beside the chair, and march slowly for a few minutes. Then, he'd walk around his house, from the kitchen to the balcony, to the living room and back. At first, it took effort. But soon, it felt like life itself. One morning, as he was walking around the house, Mrs. Fernandez peeked over the fence. "Look who's up early. Someone's knees finally listened to me." He laughed, holding onto the gate. "You were right, Mrs. Fernandez. Morning movement isn't optional." Over the next few weeks, everything began to shift. His pain didn't vanish overnight, but it softened. He noticed he could climb 2 steps without holding the railing. He could walk to the corner shop without sitting down to rest. The stiffness that once made him groan now felt like a distant memory. His energy returned. His appetite improved. Even his sleep became deeper, more peaceful. One evening, as the sun set, Neha called again. "Papa, you sound happy today." He smiled. "I am. I started moving again." Her voice cracked with joy. "I'm proud of you, Papa." Mr. Sharma realized something profound. Growing old wasn't about losing youth, it was about keeping motion alive. He wrote in his diary that night, "The day I stopped moving, I began to age. The day I started again, I began to live." He began sharing his small exercises with other seniors in the neighborhood. Every morning, 5 or 6 elders gathered outside his gate. They rolled their ankles, marched slowly, and laughed together like schoolchildren. People walking by would smile. Some joined in. Some just clapped. And just like that, one man's small decision started a quiet revolution of movement in the street. Months later, as he stood on his balcony, the sun rising before him, he whispered softly, "I thought my legs had given up. But it was my will that was sleeping." He lifted his cup of turmeric milk, smiled, and took a sip. The morning breeze brushed against his face. And for the first time in years, he didn't feel old. He felt alive. Aging doesn't weaken you. Inactivity does. Move gently. Move daily. Because every step you take keeps you young, not in body, but in spirit.